What if I told you that everything you thought you knew about history was wrong? That buried beneath centuries of dust and forgotten ruins lies a secret so disturbing it could shake the foundation of faith itself? A recently unearthed ancient scroll, one that had been hidden for nearly 2,000 years, contains an eyewitness account of one of history's most defining moments. A Roman officer, stationed in Judea, witnessed the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. But what he described was nothing like the story you were taught. And if what he saw was real, then the world as we know it is built on a lie. History has a way of hiding its most terrifying secrets. And sometimes, those secrets are never meant to be found. It started like any other excavation. A team of archaeologists was working on the ruins of a Roman villa in Volterra, Italy, an area known for its rich ancient history. At first, the discoveries were typical: pottery shards, crumbling walls, a few coins stamped with the face of Emperor Vespasian. But then, they found something different. It was buried deep beneath layers of burnt wood and stone. A single scroll, remarkably preserved despite the passing centuries. The writing? Greek. The condition? Almost pristine. The team knew they had uncovered something valuable, but they had no idea how explosive this find would be. The scroll was quickly sent for analysis, and as experts began translating its contents, one thing became clear. This was no ordinary document. It contained the personal account of a Roman officer, a tribune named Gratianus Cassius, and what he described was nothing short of horrifying. Years passed. The excitement of the discovery faded. Scholars moved on to other research. Then, one day, a highly classified lecture was announced. Only a handful of individuals, historians, archaeologists, and religious scholars, were invited. Inside a dimly lit conference room, the lead professor stood before the small audience. He held a stack of translated pages in his hands. "This," he said, "is the most disturbing historical account I have ever read." And then he began to read. Gratianus Cassius wasn't just any soldier. He was a Roman tribune, born into a powerful family. His father was a senator. His grandfather, a war hero. His destiny was clear: rise through the ranks, gain political power, and one day, command an army of his own. But all of that changed the moment he was assigned to Judea. Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, was on edge. A Jewish preacher named Jesus of Nazareth had been causing unrest. Rumors spread. Some called him a prophet, others a threat. Pilate ordered reinforcements. Gratianus and his men were sent to maintain order during the Passover festival. What he witnessed that week would haunt him for the rest of his life. On the first day, Gratianus was sent on patrol near the northern gate. That's when he saw it. A massive crowd, cheering wildly, waving palm branches. A man riding a donkey was at the center of it all. At least, that's what the crowd saw. Gratianus saw something else entirely. The figure wasn't human. Its skin was pale, nearly translucent. Its eyes, dark, hollow, and endless, like looking into an abyss. It had no mouth, no expression, just an eerie presence that sent a deep, primal terror through him. He turned to his fellow soldiers. "Do you see that?" he asked. One soldier looked at him, confused. "See what?" "It's just a man." But Gratianus knew what he saw, and deep down, he felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Something was wrong, very wrong. Days later, the same figure was dragged before Pontius Pilate, accused of blasphemy and treason against Rome. Pilate was unimpressed. He had seen countless so-called messiahs rise and fall, but Gratianus was terrified. The being never blinked, never wavered. It only stared, right at him. Even as Pilate sentenced it to death, the figure's gaze never left him. And then it spoke, but not with its mouth. A voice, cold and inhuman, echoed inside his mind. "You will see me again." At Golgotha, Gratianus was ordered to oversee the execution. He watched as the soldiers laid the figure onto the wooden cross. As he reached for the nails, an overwhelming sense of horror filled him. The thing on the cross turned its empty, soulless eyes to him, and once again, it spoke, without speaking. This is only the beginning. Gratianus hesitated, his hands trembling. The other soldiers carried on, oblivious. As the cross was raised, the sky darkened, and a deep silence fell over the land. The moment the figure took its final breath, the earth shook, and Gratianus felt something inside him change forever. 3 days passed. The city was restless. Rumors swirled that the followers of the crucified man would steal his body and claim he had risen. Gratianus wasn't protecting the body from thieves. He was making sure it never came out. But on the third night, something happened. A deep, unnatural silence fell over the land. The air grew thick, suffocating. The tomb's massive stone rolled open by itself. From the darkness within, the figure emerged. But this time, it was not alone. Dozens, then hundreds. Creatures identical to the one he had seen on the cross. Their black, hollow eyes all locked onto him. They move as one, a legion, silent, watching, waiting. And then, the voice returned. The victory has begun. Gratianus fled, his mind shattered. Years passed, then decades. But something was wrong. He wasn't aging. His face remained unchanged, his body frozen in time. His wife grew old and died. His friends passed, but he remained untouched by time. A thought haunted him every night. He was meant to witness something. But what? In the last lines of a scroll, Gratianus writes, "If you are reading this, it is not too late. They have returned before. They will return again. Find me before they do." Was Gratianus insane? Or did he see something that no one else could? Was Jesus Christ truly a divine being, or something else entirely? The truth is out there, but are we ready to face it? If this account is real, history is not what we've been told. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more mind-blowing revelations like this one, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because the past is never truly buried.